out of spite, I'm posting this video again anyway, and it is going to be the last video that I post on this channel. I decided to go ahead and bring the channel back up. I will be posting shorts from here on out, but I'm not going to be producing any more videos. There's other channels out there that have better content. My content's not that great. The goal of my channel was basically just to map out what I'm doing to build a shop, trying to start a business, and things that I learned along the way. This video, for whatever reason, caused YouTube to basically lose its lunch. I got so many dislikes and hate-filled comments. I'm wondering if everybody that commented was 12 years old, or are you grown adults that just haven't grown up? Because it was absolutely ridiculous. And then even after I made my case, why you don't rub two stones together, you know, I got things like,
well, the maker of the stones, the guy who machined the stones said you gotta rub them together to clean them.
Obviously, I wasn't clear in what I said when I said you don't rub two stones together. I don't give a rat's behind about the guy who ground the stones on his surface grinder. I think I made the point very clearly that a lot of people on YouTube who are supposedly experienced machinists are rubbing their stones together again and again and again and again, and they shouldn't be. I think that was the whole point, wasn't it? As well as a few of the machine shops channels out there, and I alluded to who they are through the sound effects, constantly rubbing their tooling with the stones again and again and again, to the point that their tooling is getting polished. And I would hear a few of these machine shop channels state that, well, they're precision ground, they're not going to remove any material, they're just going to remove the burrs. Well, polishing is removing material. If you have a condition of polishing that's happening because of the rubbing of your precision ground stones on your tooling, you're removing material. And this is what I mean. YouTube is full of bad information, bad advice, and people that basically have their head up their wazoo. I didn't appreciate any of the comments or the attitudes that I got. And it seems like anytime I upload an instructional video, that's what I would get, is nonsense, BS, attitudes, people losing their lunch. So what I said is true. You rub two stones together, you're going to get a concave, convex wear pattern on those stones. And I don't care about who ground the stones and what they say on their stupid website. I don't care about what machine shop channel says to rub their stones together. Don't do it. That's all I'm saying. I didn't name names, trying to be halfway polite. I haven't gotten on their channel to leave snotty ass comments. I don't want anybody on mine leaving snotty ass comments. Furthermore, I'm a veteran. I have PTSD, and I don't need to put up with the nonsense, okay? I really don't. It stresses me out. And I don't care about your PTSD. My PTSD is not your PTSD. And I don't care who you know that has PTSD and they don't act like me, okay? I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. And if I see snotty comments on my channel, you're going to get deleted. The comment's going to be removed. And the only person that's going to see your comment is you, because nobody else will see it. I don't have time for any of this nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense on YouTube, and it really aggravates me. The way I see people use angle grinders, mechanics that are, lapping cylinder heads with brake rotors. I mean, seriously. And all the comments are praising the guy for being a genius. Well, let me tell you something. That guy's an idiot. You even have one clown that's claiming to be an ASE certified mechanic, and that's what they do. I am an ASE certified mechanic. I went to school after I got out of the Army. I got all my ASE certs. I became a master ASE certified tech, and I can tell you without a doubt, you do not use a brake rotor to lap your cylinder head at all. And I made a video on why you don't machine your cylinder heads and what parameters should exist if you do machine them. and you can search for it. And if you can't find it, that's not my problem. It's your problem. I even made a comment on that video about how wrong this is, and again, I got argued with. I even got told that if I went to school to learn automotive, that I don't know anything. Because most of YouTube out there believes that going to school, you learn nothing, and you have to go to the backyard hack if you're going to actually learn something about automotive. These are people that don't know anything about automotive. It's no different than me telling a surgeon how to perform his surgery. That's basically what this is about. YouTube is full of idiots, and the idiots have attitude problems, and they have mental disorders, and they're dysfunctional, and they get on and leave nasty comments and act like they know everything. Not the least of which, at least one YouTuber from a country that the United States defeated in World War II left a comment that really torqued my hide. In any case, you're all wrong. Don't rub the stones together. That was the message of the video. It's not my problem if you can't handle it. If you don't like it, scroll on, find another video. Don't go hassling me. I've had enough. I don't need it. That's the end. This video and the comments that were left brought my channel pretty much to a complete end. And I don't care what anybody has to say about it. I don't have time to be a babysitter. I don't have time to put up with people's bad attitudes. I don't have time to put up with your mental illness. I've got my own to deal with. It's called post-traumatic stress disorder, and it causes me a lot of problems in my life. And while we're at it, stop thanking veterans for their service, because you don't mean it. Hey everybody. I've been meaning to do this video for the better part of 2 years, and this is going to be a two-part video because there's quite a bit to go over. What prompted me to want to do this video are these precision ground stones right here, and some things I keep seeing online from some other machine shop channels. I won't mention their name. What's really good about these is they're precision ground, so they're ultra flat. They're going to be much flatter than your normal stone. And the reason that's important is because milling machine table, where I use it the most, is knocking down burrs. You might have some work I just machined, and I want to, just go over it to make sure it's nice and smooth. And the one thing that you can tell right away with these is that when something is really smooth and the burrs are gone, this thing will just glide like glass right over the surface. You have two sides. You have a rough and a smooth, and I've got my stones marked 1 and 2. Don't ask me why. I just thought it'd be a good idea. And these aren't cheap. You can get these from a couple of different sources on the internet. I think I paid a couple $100 for these. One of the things I really kind of bothered by seeing, there's one specific channel where the guy is continually going over his 1, 2, 3 blocks all the time. He's done it so much that they're polishing. These guys have said, well, you're not removing any material because these are precision flat. Well, if you weren't removing any material, then there'd be no polishing action, because when you're polishing, you're removing material. So that's the first thing that kind of gets me. And there's quite a few of his tooling that you can tell he just keeps going over with the stones. And honestly, I think it's kind of a case of OCD going on. Him and another popular YouTuber whom I won't name. And this is what's really why I wanted to do this video, was they're constantly rubbing their stones together, whichever way, because they think it's keeping them flat. Well, that's not true. What's happening when you're rubbing your stones across, these are precision ground, so they're rubbing them back and forth, right? You see that? Okay, we rub them one way. What do we have here? And what do we have here? We rub them the other way. What do we have here? And what do we have here?
This part is still rubbing. These parts are no longer rubbing. So what's happening is you're creating a convex and a concave part. That's what's happening, and that's the problem. And I asked one of them years ago about this, and he answered on the channel, and I could tell by his answer he had no idea what I was talking about. This nonsense, rubbing your stones together to keep them flat, is exactly that. It's nonsense. It's not keeping them flat. It's ruining your stones, and it's making them convex and concave. My thing is, if you can just feel your stone, you can clean this by hand, a little soapy water in your hand, and you can get whatever you need to get off of there. You don't need to go rubbing them together. So if you get some precision ground stones, don't rub them together. Just leave them like they are so that they will stay in a precision way. Okay, we got that done. And you can tell that I use these a lot by the amount of dirt that's on there. I've had these for a few years now. And you don't want to use these on your surface plate. Now, if you're scraping something, you've machined something and you need it really flat and you're getting the scraper out, whatever you're doing, you can go over that with one of these. I would say the rough side. You just need to go over it lightly to make sure any burrs are gone. You don't want to just frickin' lay into it and keep going, because you're going to ruin your stone and you're going to ruin what you're doing with the scraping. With that in mind, I think that pretty much covers it with this. Remember, don't do this with your precision ground stones. So we've got some other stones that we use in the shop. This is probably the most famous, the Arkansas stone, and this was dropped and flaked, and it's got a crack going up it, but it hasn't migrated here. And so with non-precision stones, since we're talking precision here, there is a way to get these really, really flat. And I'm going to show you that in a second here. Now, this stone was my dad's, and this was one he had in his shop for years. This is going to be redressed, and again, we're going to show you how to do that. But these round stones, this is a dual stone. I don't know who makes this. And so you got a fine and a coarse. I don't know what my dad used this for. This was a stone I picked up years ago, and of course we have the diamond stones, and this one I believe is a fine. This one, this diamond plate, it's a lapping plate, Diaflat 95. I think this is a medium. And this is another diamond plate, and we have coating for what this is. I believe this is fine. This is medium. You'll notice that these are both about the same size. And one of the things I don't like about these, I don't know if you can see it, but they warp. I don't know if this is going to show it, but it's warped. This is kind of bowed this way. So I don't like these, but they're still useful if you're going to use something like this, which is fine. This is obviously self-explanatory. There are some things that you have to get in, and you can see that I've done just that. I got this to get into a taper because I could feel some bumps, and I had to get those down so my taper and the lathe would seat. So that's what that stone is for. Then a small diamond stone. That groove is, I believe this is meant for people that go fishing, and that groove is kind of to dress your fish hook. I could be wrong, I don't know, but I've used this a lot. This is a real handy stone just because it's small, and I've had this for years and years and years. I've had this for a long, long time. What's nice about these, if you're going to sharpen like one of these chisels, you can kind of see I've been working on that edge there, And I don't necessarily like this tool here because it does take a little bit of skill to keep this straight. But when you're going to sharpen one of these, now this is rough. I'm not really going to do it, but I'm going to show you. You want to make sure that you're square and straight, and you just pull it back. Pull it back, pick up, pull back. Now I would use, because this one's rougher, I would use this to get the bevel on there. And then I would finish up with either one of these, probably with this, and I would go with this side and then this side to polish it up. And then the other thing you got to remember is after you do that, you're likely going to have a burr, and you need to dress this side. And so you would remove it from here, and you would take your deal and just kind of, you know, run it along there. Or what probably would be better is something like this, and you just run the whole thing flat, and that'll take care of your burr, and you can feel that. And if you have a strop, then you can just kind of back and forth. I just happen to have a strop here, so you can just take this and just like that. And that's all you need to do. So these are pretty self-explanatory. Now you want to resurface one of these stones. I will get this as flat as this is. It won't be precision, but for most things it will be good enough. So in order to flatten a stone, you want to put some marks on it with your pencil. And we're going to do this in part 2 on another set of stones I'm going to show you. So you've got a grid pattern, and now you're going to have something that you can reference. Put it on there, and you don't have to, you want to keep the pressure even. You don't want to push too hard down on one side or the next. So usually in the middle is all you want to do. You don't need to really manhandle it. It takes a while. Now I already did this stone, so it may not show what I want it to show. So yeah, it's pretty even. You can kind of see it's evenly. And it will build up in here. So that's this, because I already did this. When I first did this, it was really out of shape, and it kind of showed. But this is coming off pretty evenly, so this is pretty flat. This is good to use again, like it is. And on these, you will get some buildup. So what you want, when I'm messing with these, I want a clean wire brush, and you can just brush it. And if you got compressed air, just blow it, you're good to go. I'm just going to pick a side. I'm going to mark it. You can see the marks. So that way I know how this is worn, where I'm going. Now this thing barely fits. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to hold this like on the sides like this, and I'm gonna cradle, see that? So that way I can hold the center, and I'm just gonna very gently go over this, and then I'm gonna spin it. I'm gonna go over this like so. I'm gonna spin it. Now you can see, look at that. So this stone is dished, That doesn't surprise me. My dad would be working in the center on here, whatever he was doing. And so we just keep that going until we got something flat. See, we got buildup. See, we got buildup. We don't want it off. See there? See there? We're getting almost. So I'm going to stop here because that pit is really deep and I don't have forever to make this video. But one of the reasons for refinishing these is exposing the new silicon carbide, whatever they are. And you can see I've exposed new compared to the old gunked up old, but I'll finish this at another time. I should probably, have a coarser diamond plate because this one's not coarse. I've been using this for probably close to 10 years now. And it's the Diaflat 95 lapping plate. This is designed for what I'm doing. I got this specifically to be able to dress my stones. For some of you out there that's going to whine and cry that I'm using the stones on here and I'm wearing it out, this is far from being worn out, and I've been using this consistently for close to 10 years now. But yeah, you can see the difference right now. And I'm eventually going to do this side as well and get that cleaned up. My dad has had this for probably 40 some odd years, so he's really used the daylights out of it. I don't know what he's used on it, but this is why you want to have something to dress your stones to keep them flat. And also, there's no real need with the stone to go over this afterwards. Just this and this, you're done, you're fine. Anyway, the next video is going to be more geared towards knife sharpening. Show you, I used to sharpen knives, and I used to sharpen expensive chef knives for chefs. And I'm talking knives that are, $2,000 and $3,000 each. Contrary to popular belief, you don't want a gimmick to sharpen knives. You want to learn how to do it by hand. You're not going to get any better sharpness than you will by hand with a good quality set of stones. Part 2 will be posting the day after this one posts, so look for that. I think that just about wraps it up.